Bismarcky has a house that's dedicated to vinyl. You know, I have one room, so. But then I have records that he wants, and he has records that I want. So everybody has their own stuff. It doesn't matter how much records you have. In like 6th, 7th grade, everybody was either a rocker or a souler, you know. And then people had that saying, AC/DC, rock and roll, disco sucks, and so does soul. So, but I liked AC/DC and I liked soul, so I was confused. Yeah, I love jazz. I love rock. I mean, my album mostly, a lot of it was psychedelic rock because that's like some of the only music that's been untapped from the 60s, like Iron Butterfly. Oh, Lucky Friends are always good. This is nice. That's the beauty of hip-hop. You take the best of the best, and then you save the worst for other people to listen to or whatever. Orange Crush, that's a good 12-inch action. A lot of the good stuff where people got stuff where they got samples from was disco.
At first it was just sampling and filtering the sample to give me my own bass line underneath. Lost Professor taught me that. He was like, you know, this is how you filter a sample. I used to be like, how you get the bass to come up underneath but it's still playing the same sample. And he taught me that way back in like '89. And then King of Chill from Alliance taught me how to actually work a sampler. And I didn't even have a drum machine or anything to tap it out. And I used to just go home and just make things loop, and I thought I was the shit.
I'm a fan of sampling. You know, I'm on both sides, being an artist and a producer. You know, hip hop was based on sampling. You know, we cut records and MCs rhyme. You know, and that's what it was about. You know, so I'm somebody that I kind of think I get a little disheartened now that hip hop doesn't have the samples that it used to have.
Samples have basically suffocated hip-hop in a lot of ways. There's two ways to clear a sample. You have to clear it from a publishing side, you have to clear it from a master side. And then you got to pay the person to clear the samples. So you got 3 fees you're looking at. And you know, when you're making music in a house, you don't want to think about, I can't use
the limits.
When it was early and young and exciting, no one thought about paying. And then I forget who it was that got hit with the first big legal suit on that. And all of a sudden, things realigned, and then it's okay again as long as you're going to pay.
There's a lot of real hypocritical labels from the past that put out a lot of early rap classics that didn't have cleared samples, and then they go around trying to sue everybody that scratches a hiccup that you scratch off of some rapper or something. That to me is just total hypocrisy.
I had one journalist say to me at one point, he said, well, I think your stuff should be absolutely legal. No, the concept of intellectual property in this case just absolutely doesn't hold and all that. And I said, well, that's pretty interesting. I said, because my next project is a book, and it's going to be made up completely of other people's writings, and we're going to be taking a lot of your stuff. What do you think? And he was like,
They should be compensated. You know, if you're going to make $1, then they should make $1 also. You know, and that's where I think the discrepancy comes in, when people just take it and don't. I mean, that's hip hop. We ain't supposed to be writing on walls, but that's graffiti.
The whole art form is based on other music that hasn't been cleared. Consequently, that's the one thing that's held back the major labels from signing people, because if you talk to a major label, they go, well, we can't put that out because, look, it's got like 26 samples in there that if we were to clear them all, we'd make a huge loss. And the good thing of that is that it sort of kept it more pure and more of an art form.
There's always been a rebellious stance in hip-hop, and I adopted that in my chosen medium, which was sampling. But within that, I mean, I also don't try to just take 20-bar loops, 24-bar loops of, a #1 hit from 15 years ago.
We're not just looping Rick James, We're digging hard and deep. For not the hit, we're digging for rare records, stuff that never made it and will never surface again without the re-exposure of us recycling these records.
A lot of these people that we sample, we're giving them life again because we're feeding them by clearing them, giving them money. They get sales off every rollover, off every 200-something thousand copies that get sold. And stuff like that, it's refeeding them.
Do you visualize the musicians recording the track you're playing as you're playing it? Yeah, I mean, you wonder like what made them come up with what they came up with. What were they smoking that day?
We have so much respect for the original cast who do soul music, rock music, calypso, whatever it is, Latin, soul, funk, rock, whatever it is, jazz. There's so much respect from the average hip hop DJ / producer / musician